Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Smash Controllers podcast. And today we have a special guest, Nightwing, or, I don't think he wants to go by his real name, but Nightwing from Weartesters. Give it up for Nightwing, everybody. Woo! What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Pretty good. How you been?
I've been all right. So, so we're gonna get started from the beginning. I remember, I remember watching I think my first video of yours was either the KD4 or the Kobe 6, whichever one came out first. And I was like, you know, he makes me want to buy this shoe. He makes me want to buy this shoe because I've been on the fence about it. So, could you tell us what got you started in, just sneaker reviewing?
Yeah, no, I was watching sneaker YouTube before participating in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been watching it for I want to say at least a couple of years. Like some of the OG guys, there was Sneak Geeks, Sticky 213, and
Mm-hmm.
DJ Dells. There might have been another one that I'm forgetting about right now, but those were like the main ones, and they would always talk about like the early Jordans and stuff like that, and they were just about the shoes and like how they looked, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody talked about like the newer Jordan. You know what I mean? It was always like the retro product,
Yeah.
and nobody talked about things the way that I like them, which was like for performance.
Mm-hmm.
And right around the time that I started, which was like right in 2009, I had gotten a better paying job. So instead
Mm-hmm.
of working multiple jobs all the time, I was working just the one, and so it afforded me more time. And so that's when I started playing basketball again. And my shoes had fallen apart. That was from high school.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looking for a pair of shoes. I was looking for performance reviews specifically on whatever was out. And there were no performance reviews. It was just casual lifestyle reviews and stuff like that. I do remember there was Kicksology.net by
Mm-hmm.
Professor K. That was a website that we all used back in the day, and that site was gone. I didn't know what happened to it,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently he ended up working for Nike, so that's why he had to like shut it down.
Oh, okay.
Um, but which is really dope. But anyway, so I was looking for performance reviews. I couldn't find none, so I decided just to go out and buy whatever the most expensive shoe was, which at the time was the Air Jordan 2009,
Mm-hmm.
and I made a video of those and I put it up there. And then after that, people was just commenting, being like, "Yo, like do this shoe and do this shoe." And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't really afford to do all these shoes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, I don't got money like that. And so,
Mm,
so yeah, that was my whole purpose of like doing it. Is like if you only got one, like enough money for one shoe, like what shoe should you get, right? So like I just
right.
went like in my head, performance is expensive. So like if you're buying the most expensive shoe, you should be getting the best shoe. That's
Right.
not always the case. I've found out over the years, but that was the thought process. So that's kind of how everything started, and then um, it just kind of like turned into what it is now. Like it's been kind of weird and surreal. Even after doing it for like 15 years now, it's still weird. You know what I mean? Like I
Mm,
don't like it's like weird how things happen. Just like me and you knowing each other
yeah.
and how that happened, like for me, is like, damn, that's kind of crazy. You know what I mean? So,
Mm.
but that's the world that we live in. So it's like it's some weird new age online shit that like you never thought would go down, and it's been pretty interesting. But that's basically what happened. It's like I just
Mm,
needed some shoes, and nobody was out there reviewing them the way that I needed them to be
yeah.
reviewed. So I decided to fill that hole.
Do you get recognized a lot? Like, hey, I remember you, or I see you online with the shoes.
It depends on where I'm at.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if I'm just out and about, like it's most likely not going to happen because there's
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of people like us just chilling, like over at
Mm-hmm.
Target or whatever. Sometimes it
Yeah.
happens in places like that, but not a lot. If I'm in a shoe store, then it happens often, and then
Mm-hmm.
if I'm on a basketball court, it feels like it's a guarantee at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they don't know me yet, like a lot of times they're looking at me like, bro, I know you from somewhere.
Right.
And that's the thing, like some they might not place me, you know what I mean? So like
Mm-hmm.
and then somebody else will say something and then they'll be like, dude, I knew that you was from, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like it'll be like that. But yeah. So obviously, the bigger that the channel has gotten, the more it happens and everything, and it's cool every time because like you don't know when it's gonna happen. So like you got to
Hmm.
kind of be uh, you kind of got to be like ready. You know what I mean? Like as soon as
Yeah.
somebody like they could just want to say hi or they could want to actually talk to you. If you're playing with them, I just hope that I don't suck that day. Like you know what I mean? So like it
Hmm.
just kind of depends on what is happening.
Okay. Well, well, I should have asked you first. I normally ask a question like this. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna kind of frame it for you. What's What's your first shoe you remember wanting and getting, and what's like the worst shoe you've had to play in or you know review?
Oh,
Let's say that.
there's a lot of like bad shoes. The ones that really stick out are the ones that have like fucked up my feet in some way.
Hmm.
Um, like I got scars all over my ankles and feet from different shoes doing different things, like chafing holes and
Hmm.
all kinds of stuff. And it's been not fun. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
doing that part of it. The ones that come to mind would be like the original Crazy Light one. Almost just destroyed my ankle in those. There's like
Hmm.
no
Oh
support within the
yeah,
upper.
I
Yeah,
remember that.
as soon as I did that, that was the funny thing. That was the first shoe that I ever got seeded to me, like by a brand,
Hmm.
and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I should uh, say all this because it's not a good shoe.
Hmm.
And the person that I was working with at the time was just like, nah, man, you just got to be honest. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay. And so I laid it all out there, and then right after that, Derrick Rose fucking did his shit to his
Yeah.
ankle, and I was like, bro, that same thing happened to me. And so, like the shoe just folds up on you and stuff, so it was like
Hmm.
crazy. But yeah, that one, the Curry Five, like really chewed a hole up in my feet.
Hmm.
The Jordan 33, that one fucked me up pretty hard too. Same thing, chewed a hole in my arches and stuff and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So it's shoes like that that I remember like the most because it's like every time if I were to put my foot in there, my foot like remembers. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just like hell nah, bro.
Yeah.
Like we're not going through this again. So so yeah, so it's those ones. And then as far as like what was it like the first shoe that I wanted? I mean, the first shoe when I first started like knowing what brands were,
Hmm.
there was not a shoe specifically that I
Hmm.
wanted. I just wanted a Nike. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I was wearing Payless, so like
Oh, I
I just
understand.
wanted a I just wanted a shoe with a swoosh in it. If it had an air bubble, that'd be even better.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? But my mom wasn't having that, dude. Like she was like, no, $100 for a pair of shoes is too
Hmm.
much. And so I remember just looking for days. She told me that if I could find a pair for $40, that she would buy them for me.
Hmm.
And so I would look every Sunday in the paper. There was the colored pages, the colored ads,
Hmm.
and I was looking through them every Sunday for all the sales and the deals. And eventually, I found a spot that was called Oshman's. It's I don't know if they're in business outside of California, but
Hmm.
here they're not available anymore or around anymore. But yeah, I found a pair literally $40. It was $39.99 in a bin, and they were like
Hmm.
tied up together, and they had an advertisement being like, "Yeah, Nikes for $39.99 in our bin sale, bargain bin sale or whatever." I was like, "Look, like they right here." And so she took me, and I dug through the bin. I found one pair in my size. There was all black
Hmm.
and white. There was these. I don't know if y'all can even see them back there.
Oh, yeah.
Um, those right there.
Oh, okay.
And that's not the colorway I have. Mine was all
Hmm.
black with a white
Hmm.
swoosh, but it was that shoe.
Hmm.
And that was the first pair of Nikes or name brand anything that I ever got. And
Hmm.
from there, for me, like there's like no turning back. Like I was like, no, I can't wear anything besides this
Yeah.
again. And then I remember when I first put my foot in a pair of Jordans, that was when I was like, yo, this is some next level comfort
Yeah,
shit, dude.
you
Like I was like, yo,
felt the aura unlock.
oh hell yeah! Like I was like, never am I wearing anything besides Jordans, and
Hmm.
so yeah, that's how I felt.
It's funny when when you say that I remember your video. I think you I think Blake Griffin gave you an assist or you tossed a lob to him, and I was like, I'm not gonna lie. In that moment, I was proud, but I was like jealous internally. I was like, no, I want to get a lob. I want to throw a lob to Blake Griffin. I want to get an assist, but no.
I got him an assist.
Okay, that's what it was.
He passed me the ball and he dipped too, he didn't even wait. Like he just
Oh, he
like for
already
some
knew.
reason, yeah, he for some reason he felt like it was going in, and I
Oh,
didn't
oh
even
no.
like pull up yet. And so I the funny thing is that I was clanging the rim right before
Mm,
that. I think I had taken like two or three shots. This is at Nike World headquarters, and it was for some Jordan. I want to say it was a Jordan 34,
mm,
like the unveil or whatever for like media.
yeah.
And so we went up there and like we go into their gym, and I think that it was like their new gym because they had an older gym that I played in, but this one was a different one.
Mm,
And we go in there, and Blake is in there, and like everybody's like, "Oh shit!" Like what the fuck? And then they were like, "Yeah, like we're gonna do some drills, and then you guys can run some games." And like I was like, "Sweet!" And so, but I was like tired and jet lagged and all that stuff. I had just flown up
mm,
that day, and so yeah, so my first few shots was not hitting. They were on target. They were just not going in the hole. And
yeah.
then that one, he just like, I still have the video on my phone. It's one of those moments that like
Yeah, I
I'm like, yo,
understand.
I just like I did that shit. That's crazy. So, but yeah, he fucking chucked it to me and he dipped, dude, and like then we dapped it up, and it was pretty dope. It was one of those
Mm,
cool moments that like you'll never forget.
yeah, I understand. I saw it. I was like, man, and I was just so hyped, but I was like, man, I wish I was there.
It would have been
um.
cool. It would have been cool.
Mhm. So I went like you're really knowledgeable about like sneakers in general. And have you always been like that, or is that something that kind of came along as you started to, start reviewing and whatnot?
Um, I mean, I already knew a bunch about them
Mm-hmm.
before making videos, but that's because I like obsessed over them.
Mm-hmm.
So like we would read like Kicks magazine or Slam magazine. I would just read a lot of the East Bay magazines. They had a lot of product descriptions in there, stuff like that. So I actually have some right here. But so like this stuff is what I'd be reading these in
Mm-hmm.
class,
Yeah, I remember
and
having those in school too.
you get into it, and let's see if I can find the basketball section real quick.
Have you ever ordered anything out of there?
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing is that I used to order shoes for work from it,
Oh, okay.
and this was the order form. It was
Oh.
pretty funny. Like you had to send like a COD or a money order.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like way back in the day, and but yeah, it was really cool. But you get to stuff like this, and I would just read all of those product descriptions about the Iverson and the cushion and all that stuff, and I would just memorize it.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the time they started like putting out retro products, and that was the thing is that I was watching other people do videos, and I already knew that like the shoes should be like Nubuck or Durabuck or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and all that stuff. And so sometimes they would talk about it, sometimes they would just be like, yeah, the red's here, the gray's here, and I'm like, bro, I know, like we watching a video, dog. Like
Mm-hmm.
we got this. And so I just want to know like what quality was like and like
Mm-hmm.
how everything was put together. Were they accurate in shape and all that stuff? And those are the things that I care about. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, so I always knew that stuff just from like essentially studying it over the years. And then as far as like manufacturing and materials and things like that, those are things that I've learned since doing it. Where
Mm-hmm.
um, like like if you do anything you want to build on your craft, you don't want to just like be stagnant and like think that you're like already great. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I was always adding like pieces. I did lots of research on leather, everything from the manufacturing process to of materials to sourcing to manufacturing the shoes together, cost of everything because that stuff's crazy. Like the way that
Mm-hmm.
things cost. I've done shoes myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've collaborated with brands on shoes. I've helped brands wear test shoes and
Mm-hmm.
everything that you could think of. I've gotten my hands in a little bit of all of it, so I could like really be well versed, at least in my opinion, as well as I could be
Mm-hmm.
in all aspects of this. And recently, just being old or getting older,
Mm-hmm.
it's been adding the bodily aspects. It's like
Yeah.
what is your anatomy about from like the hips down,
Mm-hmm.
and how does it work? How does it factor into basketball recovery? All of this stuff because I've gotten some like pretty bad injuries lately,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's like those types of things where I want to know like is the footwear the cause or is it your body, or is it an outside source or whatever? So it's stuff like that where like I'm continuously learning and
Hmm.
just adding little pieces to what I already know, and I feel like it just makes me a little bit more well-rounded.
Understandable. I think you were I think you might have been the first person I heard say there's no such thing as ankle support.
Hmm.
And because I was one of those people that was afraid to play in low tops. I was
Hmm.
like, oh, my ankles, because I've always kind of been a little bit injury prone, especially in like my ankles and knee area, just for whatever reason. And when I heard you say that, yeah, by that time I've been watching. I trusted your opinion, and I think that's when I got my first pair of low tops, which might have been the Kobe's, been a pair of Kobe's or something like that. And like I say that to say like when you're like out there testing, like how not to give away your secret sauce or anything, like what is your way of testing a shoe? Like how do you go about it?
There's no real secret. I go out there and I play,
Mm-hmm.
and I play hard. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I think, have we played against each other, or have we just
Yeah.
been at an event?
Oh,
Okay,
we're going. I'm gonna talk
okay,
about it.
okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk
because
about it.
I've hooped against a lot of people. So like but yeah, I just like to go out there and hoop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big dude. I'm a smaller guy. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always the challenge of not just somebody my size, but somebody taller than me, somebody younger than
Mm-hmm.
me, whatever it is. And I always take it head on, just because the aspect of playing basketball. I was just talking about this the other day to somebody because I play with like a newer group of guys on Tuesdays,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like every time I get there, like a different person like talks to me. I know a couple of them already, but like a different one to talk to me and be like, "Hey, so you're good, the wear tester guy?" And
Mm-hmm.
then they'll ask me questions and stuff like that. And one of the guys was asking like, "How long do you test shoes for?" And I was like, "Oh, it depends." You know what I mean? Like some shoes they break in real fast and
Mm-hmm.
you're good to go, and then other shoes like they take work and it sucks and all that. But then like they'll also see me like straight up switch out of a pair after one game, and I'll put on my go tos,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, "Why do you do that?" And it's just like, well, I hold the game above all else. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to disrespect me, the game, you guys that I'm playing with, my teammates at the time, and all that stuff with me putting the my job first. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so like I'm just like, hey, if they're not working right now, I'm not here for that. Like I'm here to
Yeah.
play basketball. So
Right.
so that's my like number one thing. But yeah, I play. I play all the time. I play inside, I play outside. I play in 100-degree weather, it don't even
Mm-hmm.
matter. Like I played in the Philippines, I played with you in Atlanta. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'll go everywhere. So like it doesn't even matter. I played in New York, Chicago, Beaverton, everywhere you could think of, I played there. And that to me is like how you test product.
Mm-hmm.
It's not by like pushing it or doing like weird tests, because brands already do shit like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they do stress tests and stuff like that, and that's all cool and everything. But there ain't no test that'll tell you what Zion will do to a shoe. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and there's no test that will tell you that the Crazy Light One is going to fold up on you if you
Mm-hmm.
put your foot down in a certain ass way. You know what I'm saying? Like those
Yeah.
are only things that you'll find out if you actually play in it. And so like data driven tests are only so good for so much.
Mm-hmm.
But experience is really what it comes down to. And, drills are one of those things where like drills, they're fine for like getting your body and your mind ready for the game, but nothing beats actual gameplay, you know?
Right.
And I feel like that's where the shoes get tested the best. Is like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, warm ups are cool, this is cool, shoot arounds are cool, but when I'm playing and I'm actually pushing off or I am doing whatever, you know what I mean? Just trying to come to a stop or whatever it is. That's when like, and I'll feel all of it. That's the weird part is that like, it's all like, I feel connected, from the top down.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I just kind of remember how things go. And then I
Okay.
explain my experiences after that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Hey, that's cool. Do you have you always been a hooper or
I started playing in like sixth grade.
okay.
So yeah, I guess
Yeah.
that's more now. I think about it, 'cause I'm fucking old as shit. So it's like over half my life. But yeah.
No, I
So
understand. I didn't start playing until eighth grade, so I get
okay,
it. Same.
yeah, yeah.
I honestly hated basketball at first because I just thought people were good. I just
Oh,
thought you were
really?
born good and knew how to play. I was a crybaby as a kid. I couldn't shoot. I kept losing the ball. Oh, you have to dribble. Oh, it's too hard. And since we here, it was a guy in my class in no, I started playing in eighth grade because I had to for PE, but I started taking it serious in like um 10th grade because there was a guy in my class. He was from up north, and all he ever talked about was his handles. How he was just he could cross anybody, he could drop anybody, and I was like, I don't know, it just triggered something in me. I was like, I I want to beat him. I never had beef with him, but it just triggered something in me. So I spent the whole summer just watching clips, basketball player clips, and going outside. I would be outside from the sun up until I couldn't see my hand in front of my face, just trying different stuff. And then somebody was like, "Well, what are you gonna do if you can't go to your strong hand?" And I was like, "Something I never thought of that." So I started
Mhm.
doing everything with my other hand as well, even shooting. Like just
That's awesome.
everything. And never got a chance to play the guy.
Oh,
Never got a chance to play him. Never got a
you
chance to.
prepared though.
I was ready. I was ready, and it's just like I have that look, like, oh, he can't play. Then I get out there, and I'm like, oh, he can play. As so,
That that's the funniest thing about basketball is like I always find it because I don't judge anybody, you know
mm-hmm.
what I mean? But like I'm constantly the one getting the judgment.
I
It's like, oh,
understand.
he's short, he's white, he's this, he's that, and it's just like, look, man, like I'm not here to talk shit. Like just fucking come out here and you guard me. Like you
Right.
know what I mean? Like if you beat me, you beat me. If you don't, you
Mm-hmm.
don't. Like I'm not here to be like that. Like basketball is not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the ball, the court, the hoop, they don't give a fuck what you are. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like either you could work with it or you can't. So
Mm-hmm.
those are the things where like when you say that like you didn't even like it at first, like as soon
Mm-hmm.
as I never liked no sports
Mm-hmm.
until I picked up a basketball. I don't know what it was, but as soon as I picked up that basketball, I was like, yo, this shit is fun.
Yeah. It just
And
made sense.
yeah, everything just worked. I had to work really hard. You know what I mean? Like to be just whatever my skill set is, like
Mm-hmm.
currently, like I had to work hard to get there, but it has been fun since day one.
Yeah. That's good. I'm glad I found that love for it though, because like I said, it was at first I hadn't played for years, but once the coach threw me in there and they made fun of me for not being good, I was like, I gotta step it up.
Right.
I didn't like that feeling, but I wanna ask you about sneaker tech. I know a lot of times over the years, old tech gets thrown out, new tech comes around. But is there like what's your favorite tech that you've ever had, and like is there something you would like to see come back that maybe isn't there?
Hey, can you hear me?
Um,
Hey, what's up?
yes,
Sorry guys, sorry to cut in. I'm
we
late.
good. We good. We good. How you been, bro?
Good. How about you? It's been a long time, man.
I know it has been. Yeah, I've been good. I hope you guys have been good too.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. Um, yeah. So as far as tech, you want me to like cushion tech, like stuff like
uh,
that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. My
Mm-hmm.
favorite kind of cushion is Nike's Zoom Air.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the first time I ever tried that shit out, and that blew me. I had been obsessed with air bubbles,
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to try the air bubbles, and they call them like Air Max units or air sole units now and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. But back in the day, I just thought it was an air bubble. But I wanted to try air bubbles for so long. I finally got to try when I was mad disappointed. This is I was like in seventh or eighth grade, and I was like, bro, I can't even feel shit. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
thought this was supposed to like make you jump higher or whatever. I'm like crashing down on my heels and you can't feel nothing, all this stuff. I was like, man, it just looks good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was bummed. This is when I was a kid. And, they sure shit do look good, but yeah, I was just like bummed out. And then, um, I want to say it was like that same year I went inside of a big box store where like you could there's just shoes out. Like you could just
Mm-hmm.
try them on. You don't have to like talk to nobody to like bring them out to you.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a pair of penny twos out there, one of my favorite shoes ever.
Mhm.
And I tried them things on, and the forefoot of those. Well, first off, the heel had a max. air unit, which was way different than that little tiny air unit that I was trying before. So
Mm,
that one you could feel. And then in the front though was Zoom Air.
mm.
And that shit like blew my mind. I was like, yo, this is the best. This is the best shit I've ever tried. Like I was like, man, I was bouncing around the store, everything. I couldn't even afford the damn shoe. I just wanted to feel it. And
Mm,
yeah, and I would go in there every so often just to put the shoe back on. Like it was one of them things like where I was like, Zoom Air is legit, bro. And so
mm,
when I first started like being able to save up my own money and all that stuff, I was so happy that the Jordan line switched over to Zoom. You know what I
mm,
mean? So like I was just like, hell yeah, this is awesome. So yeah, Zoom Air is it for me. I don't know if they'll ever top anything as good as that. I know that some of these foams, these new foams, are like crazy good.
mm,
So those are the things where like if you ever hear me talk about like, oh, this reminds me of Zoom Air, like
mm.
that's how you know that I'm really praising
Yeah.
that foam. And so yeah, so like I don't know if I'd want to like if there's anything necessarily that is not around that I'd like to see back, just
Mm,
especially with Nike, because Nike seems to like just kind of reuse and repurpose all of its stuff. I do
mm,
like seeing the new stuff though. So whether it's like new iterations of Cushlon or um, just even small tweaks like the Zoom Strobles,
mm,
stuff like that. Like I like seeing things like that, and seeing the cushions that I love implemented in new ways. Those are always fun too. I know that Unlock Zoom was pretty dope when it first came out. I don't really use it anymore because I think it's not very durable, but like it was fun while it lasted. You know what I mean? So like stuff
mm.
like that, I really dig. And then I mostly just kind of get excited to see like what all of these new brands do, like these Chinese brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They be on one, man. Like they're
Oh
fucking, I don't
man.
know, they're like taking all this shit early or something. Like it's
Mm.
crazy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Unlimited tech.
I have two pair of two pair of the way of weights. I
Hmm.
have the 808
It's like the
threes
808 City
and
Tour or something like that.
yeah, and the all city 13s, and oh my god, like
The funny thing
I,
is those are two takedown models. They
oh
awesome.
yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like but they've been like when I can't decide on what to wear, I'm like, I'll just take a reliable.
Yeah.
The 808 was so good, I almost rolled my ankle because of the traction on it. It's just it just bites so well. I was like, oh my god, I gotta be careful in these
Yeah,
because
that's
I
how I popped my hip out.
Oh
oh,
man.
Not in that shoe, but with some really good traction. So
Yeah.
Too much grip.
yeah, yeah, the grip when it bites the floor like that, it should knock you on your ass.
Exactly.
I always hated like the shoe that comes to mind is like the Kyrie 3,
Oh.
just because
Mm.
I can't think of any other shoe right now, but they have that. I don't know if they have cushion in the front, but they have it in the heel area,
Yeah, like the
and
hip
I've
up.
I've never understood why they do that. And
Hmm.
it's always made me like have like a dislike for the shoe because they'll hurt my feet would end up hurting, and I can't
Yeah,
even wear them for long periods of time. That's probably like a money choice or something?
it's a little of both.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously a cut as far as like budget is concerned, but like
Mm-hmm.
it also really depends on player preference. So like one of those things that I always like to say is like not every shoe is made for every person, but there is a
Mm-hmm.
shoe out there for you. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like you just have to figure out like what you like out of product. And so for people that like that type of shoe or a Kyrie style of shoe,
Mm-hmm.
minimal cushion is it.
Mm-hmm.
And that might sound crazy to some people. They'd be like, why would you want less? 'Cause some people fuck with it like that. Like
Yeah.
they really like to be grounded
Yeah.
and not have anything like messing with anything. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mhm.
Same thing with when they started like rounding issues.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's something that I don't like the drastic like round, like when it's like under your foot. I don't mind it when it's on the side. So that
Yeah.
way, if you're like dragging, like it's not
Mm-hmm.
like catching, you know what I mean? So like it
Yeah.
like rolls with you. So yeah, so like those are things that like, and again, the more that you play in different products, this is why I always say like just try it out if you can.
Hmm.
Like I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy anything. Like that's not what I set out to do. It's to help you channel your funds into the best possible product for you. Cause like I know that money's tight for people, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
like for me, I just want to buy one shoe and be set, like be like, yeah, that I made the good choice, instead of buying that one shoe and being like, fuck, I gotta play
Yeah.
in these for the next fucking year or some shit. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna be, like, this is gonna suck.
Mhm.
So like that's where the whole thing comes from for me. So like it just really depends. Like a shoe like that, obviously they're cutting costs, but at the
Mm.
same time, some people really like that stuff. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, and to each his own. You gotta approach it as like, this was my experience,
Mm.
and this is what the shoe offers. It might not be what I like, but it might be what you like. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
Yeah.
because like the same can be said for shoes with ultra cushion. Like those shoes I
Mm.
don't fuck with. You know what I mean? Like I need something kind of like in between. Like it's got a little bit of cushion, but not too much.
Mhm.
Mm.
And so, yeah, the ones with ultra cushion though, like they like cramp my legs up.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they're hard for me to like move around in.
Mm.
I feel slow. You know what I mean? Like just stuff like that where I need something more in between, more balanced.
Yeah, I understand that completely. Um, how do you feel about? I don't want to. I say retros, and but I say that to say like, how do you feel about them releasing every other year? Like, I saw somewhere online that says instead of having them constantly re-release, you should have like certain maybe like certain fan favorite shoes or whatever available
Hmm.
all the time, maybe for a little bit more versus coming out
The limited
every
releases.
uh or like let's say like you can go in the store and get a hyper dunk, right?
Mm.
Hmm.
But like let's say you want a Jordan 3, instead of it being 180, it's like 250 or something at Foot Locker, like around the clock.
Okay.
Like how do you feel about retros and stuff and how that should be handled?
Well, it's interesting because I've been in this since like the 1999 era of retros. So that's like
Mm-hmm.
when like they dabbled in retros in 94, 95 when he first
Mm-hmm.
retired. But it didn't go off well. Like
Mm-hmm.
people weren't into legacy yet. They were
Okay.
into new.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas by the time 99 rolled around, uh, both of which revolving kind of around his retirement and everything, even though not like not specifically the second time around.
Mhm.
But
Mm-hmm.
uh, you know, at that time, people were more like, "Oh yeah, it'd be nice to have a pair of Jordan ones or a pair of
Mm-hmm.
Jordan threes or something like that." Whereas before, they were like, "Well, why are these back? We want the new
Yeah.
thing." And so, so for me, retros were scarce. Like
Mhm.
they were, you had like, you know, an OG colorway drop, it dropped, and that's it. You
Yeah.
got it or you didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
then you never, you never knew in '99 that those white cement or black cement fours was going to retro eventually, but like you
Mm-hmm.
didn't know if, you know what I mean, or when, or none of that stuff. So like for us, we thought that was it, and then it wasn't until what, like 2008 that the black cement comes back in the
Mhm.
countdown pack. You know what I mean? Like that's a
Oh,
long ass
mm-hmm.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you know what I mean? And so when they announced like stuff like that, we were like, oh shit, they're coming back. So like eventually, like now that I've been doing this for so long, I've been doing this for so long that I've reviewed a shoe that I've reviewed before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so old that this shit's been done retro now,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
so so it's like real weird for something like that. And so in that sense, it's like, yeah, nothing is sacred anymore.
Mhm.
It's always going to come back out. This is a brand, and it's a
Mm-hmm.
legacy brand on top of that. So
Yeah.
if you miss out on the white cement floors this year, like guess what? They're going to come back around for the next,
Mm-hmm.
and like don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like they're coming back. Like as long as you're young, don't worry about it. And so it's stuff like that. Do I think that they should always be on shelves? I think that some should be. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
a black and red Chicago,
Mhm.
like the real legacy stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
those should always be available for true fans. I feel like it would benefit the brand too, because you can always have those stories revolving.
Mhm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's not just a marketing campaign of band,
Mhm.
even though that's not even a real story.
Yeah.
Like it's like made up marketing at this point, and
Mhm.
everybody knows it, including the brand, and they still promote the fucking shoe as
Mm-hmm.
banned. You know, and it's just
Yeah.
like, that was not even the shoe that was banned, bro. Like,
Literally.
what are you
Mm-hmm.
talking about? So like, so it's like stuff like that where like if you just had them out always, you would have his legacy out, and always, you know, you wouldn't have to rely on a documentary or YouTube highlights or somebody just pulling up an old clip or whatever, and like, or like a LeBron versus fucking MJ debate and shit, even though there's no debate, like, you know what I mean? Like there just is none. And so like it's like stuff like that where you wouldn't have to keep reminding people about this dude if you would just have him available.
Yeah.
So you keep locking it away and people don't know, you know? And yeah, like I even feel like, because like now like only OG colors sell, and even then it's not even like a guarantee anymore. I just went in the store today. They had grapes, they had white cement floors, they had black toe ones. I'm telling you, bro, they had mellow 12s. I was like, I was sitting there, I was like, bruh, like if this was 2006, I'd shit my pants right now. I'd be like, how are these all available? You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. Like that's like unheard of back then. Like just having all that stuff sit there. But I was thinking like all of these new colorways sit. If they don't got Nike Air, they sit. All this shit. So I was just like, make them limited then.
Yeah.
Make the real Jordans available for everybody, and make them in mass quantities, and then make these new colorways that nobody claims to care about. Make them limited, and all of a sudden you'll tap into that hype beast market again because they'll think that they're limited, and they'll want them because they're limited. That's just how their brain works. You know what I mean? So. I like what I like, so like I don't have to worry about stuff like that, you know. Like I will, when the cement floors come out, I bought 2 pairs this time. The last time they came out, I bought 4.
Oh man.
Not doing that this time. So I just bought 2 this time. I'm good. You know, half the time I don't even wear basketball shoes off court anymore. Like I just wear like Vans, something easy.
Exactly.
Something that's easy on my legs and stuff like that. But I won't wear that shit.
You don't wear Crocs?
I won't wear that shit. I won't wear those. But you won't catch me in no Crocs unless we like inside the water or some shit.
Yeah,
but
too
like,
many options to put Crocs on.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but I'll wear some Vans though. I'll wear something simple. You know what I mean? And if I'm going out somewhere special, I'll put on my Jordans or something. So like that's what it is. But yeah, but yeah, I do think that they should just be available. I think that'd be their best option. Like you don't see nobody limited in like black Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like they're everywhere. So just
I have a question.
Be.
What do you think about the more rare shoes getting released, like the Tokyo 5s, the Misfit 4s, like those kind of one-on-one that? Oh, I didn't know they dropped those. They coming back now, and the community, as an OG in yourself, like, how does that make you feel? Where it's like, you may have access to them, but it's like those that are, for people like you, those are still the shoes that are kind of maybe out of reach. Like, you know, how you feel about the masses getting another chance and stuff like that?
Well, for someone like me, even though I grew up in all of that, like I couldn't get them. None of them. So, if I really, really wanted them, that's one of those like, oh, I got another chance now. And so I think that that's cool for those people. For the people that buy things just for future value, it sucks for them. But I mean, oh well, I don't
who cares about that? You know, who really cares about the value? You know what I mean? Like reselling.
Like yeah, I don't buy the shoes for value, bro. Like I buy them because I love them and I wear them or I'll play in them or whatever. So like when the Kobe's came back out, I was excited.
Insane.
You know, I was like, yo, I've always wanted these. And the first day that I had them, I took them out. I played them, my league's all-star game in those things.
Nice.
Like I didn't even hesitate or think twice. It's a basketball shoe. So like, I was like, yeah, let's go. And so yeah, so it was like shit like that. Like, I think it's cool, you know? A lot of people like for the people that did collect them back then, but wore them and they're not wearable no more. Those same people are able to relive that moment or that shoe, and I think that's really awesome too. I think it's only like selfish people are the ones that are like, no, don't do that. Like it's like, stop this, man. The world don't revolve around you, bro.
For sure.
So you know, so like I think that it's great. Put out everything. I don't give a fuck. Make it whatever you want, all that shit, and then put it out again. I don't care. Like I laughed when they did that band thing for All Star, the limited ass 85s, right?
Wow.
And then all of a sudden everybody's like beasting over them, and they said, "Oh yeah, they're coming back out in November." Everybody's like, "What?" And like I was just like, "Good."
Kill the hype.
Yeah, put them out again. Keep them in circulation.
Is that? I guess that would answer my next question about like. not only how you feel about resellers, but how would you combat reselling? Well, I guess that's one way to do it. Just
Flood the
put it all
market.
out. Yeah,
They
flood the
already
market.
did.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They're combating it right now. You see 205.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
First off, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you had people buying them for 350 without blinking.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think the brand's going to do? We've
Right.
already gone through this before too. That's the funny thing. Like people think, like this is how you know that the culture is always revolving with
Mm-hmm.
people, is that all of them people that was being like leeches to it back in like 2010, 2011, 2012, they're no longer in this
Mm-hmm.
because it was no longer beneficial for them, right? So like
Right.
they're all gone. Now it's all these new people that are all like leeching or vulturing or whatever you want to call it. And now they're all whining, being like, "Oh, like this is a brick, this is that." It's just
Yeah.
like, bro, this was never for you. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like you came in to try and hustle people
Mm-hmm.
in a negative way for your own benefit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so now the hustler is getting hustled by the brand, being like, "No, this is our shit."
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And so let them sit. Let them drop down to a price that's more reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
They're still making their money.
Of
Yeah.
course.
You know what I mean? Like Nike's not losing the money on, like the only pairs that they're losing on is the pairs they're selling direct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And even then the markup's so high that they can go all the way down to these outlet prices. They're still making profit on
Yeah.
these things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's how their pricing structure work. Like they're so smart that they have priced out every possible discounted scenario
Mm-hmm.
and still make profit. And so yeah, so like the retailers are the ones really like getting fucked over on
Yeah.
that. Like
Mhm.
they're the ones you got to pay in like 2 weeks.
The middleman.
And you're paying, yeah, you got exactly. You got to pay the fucking the real. They're the real resellers. These retailers, bro.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, and then like once things started slowing down, they are legitimately the new reseller because they're the ones putting their stuff up on Goat and StockX early.
Yeah.
They're trying to get as much money as they can as quickly as possible. So a lot of times you're not even buying, when you're buying from these places, you're not even buying from like someone like you or me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You're literally buying from a store. You just don't know it. They're
Okay.
anonymous.
Okay.
And
Employees
they
trying to
get
get
the
a side
pre-verified shit. Yeah, you know how like it's all pre-verified, like it's like
Mm-hmm.
instant ship, all this
Mhm.
stuff. That's what that is. Those are
Yeah.
from stores.
Okay.
They're not from someone like me or you. Sometimes the like what's that place called? Fuck, I'm brain farting on it right now. But it's like StockX or whatever, where they got their little hub and like they'll have a few pairs that are like already
Goat?
verified.
Flight Club, Goat, one of those.
Flight Club, yeah,
Mm.
Flight Club's one of
Okay.
them, and then there was another one that I can't remember what it's called, but whatever it is, like
Mhm.
that's the thing, is that they got deals with retailers, or once in a while they'll actually have a pair in hand, but like it's mostly retailers that you're getting these things from.
Okay.
And yeah, and it's just crazy, but you know, that's how they're doing it. They've done it before.
Mhm.
They'll increase the retail prices. Now they're blaming it on tariffs. But like, you know, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to charge everything $5 extra. They still would have been fine. So they're just doing their thing at this point. Like they're just being a corporate company in America. They're being
trying
greedy.
to stay wealthy and fat.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I know you had a collab in the, at least once you collab in the past with I think it was called Brand Black with the rare metals. Do you have, I don't want to say a dream collab in like a disrespectful way, but do you have a dream collab you would like to do?
I would love to do a Jordan product. I just think that would be a full circle moment. Jordan or Nike. Specifically Jordan, but if it were a Nike, I'd want it to be like a Penny or a Kobe. Something that I feel is like performance oriented. But yeah, that to me would be awesome. I could tell you right now, it would never happen. Most of those people up there don't like me, but like, you know,
too real for them.
I don't know. It's weird because when we're face to face, they're all nice to me and stuff. But like,
you know how corporate is.
it's I know. Oh, I know. I don't like it, but yeah. So like, you know, that would be really cool for me to do something like that. I think that would be like real fun, and like those are the products that I grew up really, really, really want. Like that's the that's the whole reason why like I work hella hard
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
is because like like I don't think people get it. Like when you grow up with not much, you know what I mean? Like, and then you see people with stuff, even
Mm-hmm.
though this stuff now that you're older, like that it doesn't mean anything. Like it's not as important.
Mm-hmm.
It's not important at all.
Mm-hmm.
But like back then though, that was like that pull that like
Mm-hmm.
pushed you to like really work hard, and that was your motivation. Is like, oh, I want to look fly, or I want to have some Jordans and not get made fun of, or just the fact that you like it, like you
Yeah,
just
for
want it,
sure.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so whatever it might be, like that's what did it, is like watching Jordan play, um, seeing his work ethic on court, hearing every interview, reading every interview, keeping all the clippings. I had them all over my walls, all that stuff. So like, I like idolize these people,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like wanted to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I worked really hard to be able to afford one pair.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for that, like I don't know if I would be as motivated. You know what I mean? Like to
Definitely.
just keep working
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Because like this whole like YouTube thing, like working for yourself and all that stuff. There's lots of ups and downs, and
Mm-hmm.
you get knocked on your ass before you know it,
For sure.
many times too, many times. And like especially recently over the last like what 5 years,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
pandemics and shutdowns and this and tariffs and whatever, like this economy, all the like fuck man, like it's just like dude, like what the fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
So
One
you know
thing
what I
after
mean, and
another.
like you're just like yo fucking like this shit don't last forever, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, and you don't you all you could do is just prepare and work
Mm-hmm.
really hard, you know what I mean. You like you gotta hope for the best, prepare for the worst,
Yeah.
and keep your head down and
Mm-hmm.
just go. And
Mm-hmm.
that's basically, I learned that stuff from watching guys like Mike and Penny and Iverson and all that stuff, you know what I mean. And so I took all of that stuff to heart, whether it was really how these people are or not, because these guys are all multi-millionaires, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. Like who knows, but
Yeah.
um that's how I uh approach everything.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, even with you saying that, it shows because to me, to me and my brother, like you're one of those OGs figures to us. So the fact that you idolize people and you got to a point you can do that to other people, because like you said, YouTube is
Mm,
hard. Like we both tried our own stint. Me personally, I barely can get off the ground just due to so many things. So I can imagine how it is at other people's shoes, but just from watching you growing up to the point where you come to our state, our city with a Weartesters event, and we get a chance to meet you and play with you and actually interact with someone, it was like an out of body experience. Like how you said you had clippings of the wall. I remember coming home.
mm,
For me, I was in middle school at the time, coming home in middle school, watching your videos or reviews, like looking at you with the shoes, like, man, I wish I can get a pair of these, or how did he feel about it? Let me go read the comments and see how it acts, and to the point where it's like you can cause that motivation to someone on your own scale. So it's just like
mm,
I just had nothing but respect for you to see you from afar to get this close to meet you become cordial with you to speak to you like it's in the same boat to me because I looked up to you at one point where it's like this man is just himself, what I'm saying. He has his own swag, he's not like the other YouTube channels that make kick reviews at the time. Like they didn't came and went, but you still have your lane, and you're, to my opinion, you're a pioneer in it because my brother told me about how you reached out and y'all networked and this was coming to life. And I was just thinking, I'm like, wow, like all the years to have that type of longevity and keep doing it your way without kind of like sacrificing who you are. You still have your comics, your own like kind of swag, your unfilteredness, your personality, the tattoos, the all that. Just to have that with you and to carry that for so long, people can't even do that themselves. Like they'll get around
mm,
people, important people, switch their whole identity, their whole everything, and you staying true to probably what driven you as a kid to the point where you're grown and you can influence other kids like myself to come up and want to do it their ways. It's just not, like I said, it's nothing but respect, and I can see what you speaking. Like that was a question I had in my own brain, but to see that you speak and how your motivation translate, I can see how you got to the point because you put that motivation to other people just by having it yourself. What driven you, what drove you, drives other people. Because like I'm pretty sure there's many people in the comments over the years like, damn, I wish I can be like this guy. He has this, he has that, he did this, he works hard, he's actually good at basketball. Some content creators not really good. This dude can play. He knows the game. He like it's amazing, you know. Like for one, my hats off to you, and it's just like I just wanted to let you know, like the motivation from you to us to the lower end, like it's real out here. Like I even when I met you, I think like 6 7 years ago, it was real then, you know. Like
Yeah.
wow, like this guy really. He's not like a other person. He'll ignore you. Like you shook our hand, you had personal conversations with us. Like that means something. You're a real human and a pretty really good cool human at that. And 'cause I just want to say I
Thank
respect
you.
that. And it's amazing. Like it's amazing to see the longevity and the originality both hand to hand through so long.
Thank you. I appreciate
No
that.
problem.
Oh,
We've eaten together.
Yeah,
Everything.
literally.
oh,
So
we're
yeah,
gonna talk about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
I actually want to talk about it now. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it now. So the first, because you had two events here.
When at
That
Grady
first
High,
one was at the high school.
Grady High School.
So
Hmm.
I'm gonna talk about that one first. I remember hearing about it, and I was like, see, at this time, I was struggling bad. I didn't really have no money and stuff, but I was like, I've got to go. I've got to find a way to get in there. And I reached out to you, and I didn't expect you to get back to me. I really didn't. And you was like, oh yeah, you could just pay at the door, blah blah blah. And I was like, cool. And so it's gonna sound bad, but on the way there, I was talking to my brother. I was like, if he's on the other team, he gets nothing.
Gotta
He
do
gets
it to
nothing.
him. Gotta do
No
it to him.
shots, no nothing. If he puts the ball down, we're going for the
I
steal.
can tell you right now that did not happen.
Of course not. Of
No,
course not. We tried.
we tried. We didn't lock him down or anything. I think we ended up on the same team, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's
I
what that
don't.
crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I know I still play like this right now. I'm in my 40s, bro, and
Yeah.
I was playing on Saturday. Like
Mm-hmm.
Saturdays, I got double duty, so like I play in the morning outside so that I can get ready to play my league game that night.
Mhm.
I like to play on the double rims
Yeah.
outside, so that when I get inside, my shot is wet, right?
Yeah.
And so we out there at like fucking 7:15 in the morning
Mhm.
because it's hot as shit out here, bro.
Yeah.
And so not Atlanta hot, but like it's still hot.
Yeah.
And then we out here, we're hooping, and I'm tired, everything like whatever, because I'm working all week and shit. And then I start playing, and the first game, like I'm not shooting a lot, but it's because I'm bricking what I'm putting up there, right? And so like I was just like fuck, and then one of my friends that we play against each other all the time, but like he started talking mad shit. Like
That's
he's
all
just
you
like,
need.
oh, he can't buy a bucket a day, blah blah. He's saying all this shit from the sideline. It's like, bitch, we beat you.
Yeah,
You know
it
what I mean?
works.
Like I beat you being a point guard. I didn't even
Yeah.
beat you scoring. You know what I mean? So like I was just like, what are you talking shit over there for, bro? And then he starts talking shit. He's like, oh, he can't. And I was just like, hey, this next one's for you then. And I fucking put that bitch up there. It went right in. And I was just like, that's it. Like,
Yeah.
we're good. And so then we didn't lose a game.
Mm.
Okay, we didn't lose. I was out there for like 2.5 hours. I fucking whooped their ass the
Right.
whole
Yeah.
time. And I hezzy the motherfucker out of this motherfucker and shit. Everything. I fuck step back three, everything wet. And like I was just like, yes. Like, and I'm just looking at him like, boom. You know what I mean? I don't even talk shit. Like that's it. Like he brought that
Yeah,
out
you
of me
got
and
to.
shit.
Yeah.
And then
Trying to be cool.
and then my body's hurting. I'm like, fuck, I'm literally old as fuck. And I got to get ready for this league game.
Mhm.
The league game, thank goodness these motherfuckers didn't show up. Like they only brought 3 people out, their whole team, so
Wow.
automatic forfeit.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh shit. And they were just like, oh, but we got the hour, so like you can just play. And so we gave them 2 of our guys. I didn't miss.
Oh,
Yay.
man.
I was fucking everything.
Yeah.
Like I was cash everything, and like I was just like, yeah, this is what I'm talking. Like this is so fun right now.
Yeah.
Like I felt so the rim felt like it was huge. Everything,
Yeah.
my son, my wife, everything that's watching me, and like I was just like, yeah. And like I said, I don't talk shit. I just let my game do it. So
Gotcha.
like that to me is like the most fun. Like where like I was garbage, and I'm just determined. I'm like, no, bro, I'm gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So,
Locking in,
yeah,
as they
you
say.
I
No.
guess I was just mad. I was just like, boy,
No.
you know that I could put this shit on
No.
like at any
Yeah.
moment. You know what I
Literally.
mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, come on, man.
No, we've that first event we were on the same team. I think we only lost once. We only lost once. And that second event, it was the
Court
same
was
thing.
trash. So that Georgia State.
Yeah.
They had a
And that-
big
it
wet
was the-
spot on one
Yeah.
one goal, like half the free throw line down to like the block, which is so
Yeah.
slick.
It was the same
I
thing
do
there.
remember. I do remember that. Yeah, one side of the court was mad slippery.
Literally.
And we was like, you know, he on the opposite team, we gonna try to lock him down.
It's
I
our
was
moment.
I think
actually,
that's
I was on the opposite
That's
team to begin with.
Mm.
Go ahead.
I
What'd you
just
say?
remember that second time that I was there, my shot was on. I remember that
Yeah,
one.
Mm.
yeah.
Like
Cause
that shit, I was on fire.
yeah, cause I
So
was on y'all won every game. I was on the opposite team, so we lost. I lost that first one. Then I pulled a KD, and I swapped teams
Went to
over
the
there. Oh my
went to the
god!
winning squad.
I wish there was footage of that game because we could not lose.
Yeah,
I'm talking about we were just running them off the
Avengers.
court. It was beautiful. I'm talking
yeah,
about it,
I
just
I
like
love
no
playing
missing.
pick up everything. It's so fun for me. Like when we get on our teams or whatever, and like they're
Mm,
like, hey, who you want to guard? I'll be like, yo, y'all pick who you want to guard.
Yeah,
I'll pick
mm,
whoever.
literally.
Like I'm good. Y'all get the biggest motherfucker here. I'll get the smallest motherfucker here. I don't give a shit. Like I'm just sitting here. I'm ready to go. And I don't play with like ego or pride no more.
mm,
You know what I mean? Because I am old. Like I know that I'm gonna suck some days, and
Yeah.
like I just got to be cool with that. And I
Okay.
got to know that I can pick it up on the defensive end, and I can pass like crazy. So
mm,
like my accuracy is probably my best attribute,
Okay.
besides just being like stubborn. You know what I mean? And so even if my shot's not on, like I love passing. I love threading the needle. I love making the gym like erupt,
Ooh.
like people, yeah, on the
Yeah.
sides, like whoever's watching, they'd be like, damn, like, you know what I mean? And like, that's my
Yeah.
favorite thing with the passing. The shooting part, like, I already know that I could do that. So like when they like get all like loud and stuff, if I hit like crazy step back or whatever, like I don't even care about that because like that's like I'm like, well, that's just Tuesday.
It's
You know
just a
what I mean? But
Tuesday.
like, yeah, but when I do it with the passing, that's the one where I'm just like, man, that's so dope. Like, cause like Jason Williams, one of my guys that like I
Mhm.
grew up like really idolizing, and he always would talk about like when you pass properly, like the people that you play with has fun with you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so like I wanna have fun with everybody and like really like fuck people up,
Mhm.
and but do it with a smile on my face too.
Exactly.
So that's the fun part, is that like I'll be
mm.
smiling the whole time. I'll be killing your ass.
Literally.
Like I'll
You
be
try to
like,
stop it, the
yeah, what's
pass zip
up?
through your head, like, where it
So
go? Teammate score, you
yeah,
like, bro, who
so
got him? I'll get him.
it's fun, man. I love
Yeah.
it when they start switching off onto me and shit.
That's
I'd be
that's the
like,
best
who's
thing
next,
ever.
bro? Like, come on. Yeah, like y'all can't even guard this old little white dude. Like, it's just so funny to me. You know what I
They too
mean? So
skilled.
like, yeah, I just think it is fun. I wish that I had these skills in my younger body because
Mhm.
my younger self didn't have none of these.
Mhm.
These are all things that, kind of like with work, like where you pick
Mm,
up on things as you keep going, you keep evolving. Like that's how it is with basketball. Yeah, and I just wish that I was able to do this stuff back then because I would
Mhm.
have fucked people up really good.
For a long
So
time.
yeah, it's just yeah. So, but it's still fun to play. I love it. It's just something that you know, it's really what's kept me going.
Yeah, for
mm,
Is
sure.
basketball. Like it's like through all of the good shit, the bad shit. Like basketball is the one constant. It's like it's never not been there.
mm.
Can I ask you a question? Have you ever found yourself away from basketball, like life trouble, maybe wife, kids, maybe work, YouTube, personal matters?
Hmm.
Have you ever found yourself? Because personally, me, I'm at a point in my basketball journey where I still have my skill. It's just like you said, that motor, that edge, that competition to go out there and kill my opponent, not in like an over ego way, but just actually as a competitor. Like I find myself lacking that just due to real world stress, problems. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where it's like you got the gear, you got the skill, but it's just sometimes you don't got the mentality to go out there and just like I'm gonna go out here and
Hmm.
kill. I'm gonna push myself. I'm gonna work on this step back. Like I'm a little passive. Like I'll get the ball. Like I can take my man, but I'll look for that pass. I don't even look to score. Like my brother tell me all the time. Like you can score on it. You just cross him over and pass it. Like you ever find yourself in that situation? And if you did, how did you get yourself out of it?
Twice.
Mm,
So that's how I started YouTube. Like something that we talked about a little bit earlier. But like the reason why I was looking for new basketball shoes because I got that higher paying job, so I
mm,
didn't have to work all the time. But when my daughter was born, like that's all I did. I just worked, and I was just trying to survive and
mm,
provide for her and my wife and everything. And so basketball, there was no time for it,
mm,
and it took until she was like maybe like 4 or 5, something like that, and that's when um, I had enough time to go and play again,
okay.
and I sure did. So I just would go out to the parks and play, and whether I was good or not didn't matter. Like and I wasn't, you know what I
Mm,
mean? Like if you don't, basketball is one of those things where if you're not constantly doing it, like you'll
yeah.
lose a little bit of like your motor skills,
Yeah.
and your hand-eye coordination. It'll come back,
Do
but
the
like it
touch and the
takes a little
shot and
while.
stuff.
yeah, like just little things, you know what I mean? And so yeah, so it took a really long time to like get like just my shooting
Hmm.
back, because
Sure.
that was like my main skill. Like I was trained as a shooter,
Hmm.
in high school, and so like I was always the smallest one. So it's like, yeah, like if you're going to be useful out here, you got to be able to do this. Like
Yeah.
you got to be able to knock down shots like anytime. And so that was always my job. And so like doing that stuff was a little hard at first, but the way that I am, I'm really just competitive with myself,
Hmm.
and I hold myself to a standard that like it's like I know that I can do this. So like if I'm performing under here, like I'm gonna keep pushing myself till I get back up there.
Okay.
And then on the flip side, I'm turn this into a business, and
Mm.
you feel like if you take a break that you're gonna not be able to earn, because that's how it
Yeah.
works with YouTube is you don't create, you don't make, you know what I mean? Like you
Hmm.
don't make money, nothing. And so I wore my body out so quickly, or I wouldn't say quickly because it's been 15 years, but like I wore my body out so badly
Hmm.
that like I was tearing muscles that I didn't even know that you could,
Yeah.
and so like it took me out for like a whole year,
Hmm.
like where I tore my calf, and so that was like really
Man.
bad. And then um, before that, like when I started the Jordan project, when I started like testing every Jordan,
Hmm.
the first one, like, and I remember people being like, "Don't get hurt out there." The first
Yeah.
one, man, the fucking Jordan ones, bro, like that traction stuck so hard, bro, that
Yeah.
it literally popped my hip out. Like it
Man.
reversed my hip flexor.
God.
And I still remember that night. Like I tried to play, like I had like walked off because like I was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
this? And I walked off. I sat down. It popped back in, and I was like, okay, I think I could go again. So I got up and I ran up the court once, and it started swelling. And I was
Oh.
like, oh shit, this
Yeah.
is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like
Get me
something's
out.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, this not gonna work. And yeah, and it's like that was like one of those like it's your legs, so like you
Mm.
can't not do it. Like I've had
Yeah.
like my pinky like go that way before, and I popped it right back
Hmm.
in and just keep going. You know what I mean? And like stuff like that, like I can deal with. But like this one, I was just like, I don't know what's happening. Like this shit's crazy.
Yeah.
And then after the calf injury, it took me a while to get back into like full speed because I was afraid
Yeah. For sure.
of playing.
Hmm.
Because the way that it happened, like it just I was just doing something regular, and I went to
Hmm.
move, and basically the way that you see like KD,
Mm.
Talib or was it Tyrese
Yeah.
Halliburton,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallie. Mm.
like all this shit, the way that they push off like that, that's
Mm.
what I did,
Like that long
and
step.
if it felt like somebody threw a tennis ball because I heard the sound too,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and like it felt like a tennis ball like
Pop.
knock or
Hmm.
whatever, and I remember just dropping to the floor and just
Hmm.
being like, "What the fuck?" And so like I turned around because like people were like talking shit to me like on the side, and because I was like the YouTube guy or whatever, so
Yeah.
like they was all talking shit, and then like I turned around and they weren't even there. I thought that they threw a ball at me,
Hmm.
and so like I turned around and I stood back up and I went to go again and I fell right back to the floor, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
And so I like hobbled my way over to the car, drove my ass home, went to the doctor the next day, and she was like, "You got good news and bad news. Like, good news is your Achilles is good, but like bad news is you tore your calf." I was like,
No.
"You could do that?" Yeah, like I was
Yeah.
like, "What? What?" You know what I mean? And like she was like, "Yeah," and like I was like, "Damn." And so yeah, and like I had to be in crutches for a little bit. It was awful. Like I hated it, and so once I got back from that, it took me a long time to just to trust my body again.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And once that happened, then I popped my other hip out,
Dang.
and that's when I was just like, bro, like, are we fucking serious?
Hmm.
Like, this is crazy. And like once you reverse your hip flexors, they will do it like all the time,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and it'll happen out of nowhere too, and that's the messed up part. So like they could pop back in, and like I used to drive 2 hours to go play, and then 2 hours back
Oh
home.
man.
And so the act of me sitting, like my,
Yeah.
my
The
body
angle.
being like that, it would
Hmm.
Hmm.
pop, yeah, the angle would pop my hip out.
Man.
And so yeah, so like it got to a point where I was just like, I'm fucking done, dude. Like I
Hmm.
can't keep doing this shit. And so I told everybody on like our channel and stuff, I was like, I'm sorry, but I can't keep doing performance reviews. I'll still do retro reviews and I'll still
Hmm.
break down shoes and stuff, but like I can't do that and everything. And I took another year away from that. This was recently too. This
Hmm.
is like like not last year, but the year before that.
Okay.
Hmm.
And I took the whole year off, and then I started coaching, and I started coaching my son, and he started playing City League, and they needed coaches. Like it's like all volunteer based, right? So like you sign them up, they get placed on teams and shit, and then like I thought that we were just putting them in teams that had coaches. So like I didn't know. Like we get to his first practice and there's no coach. It just said staff. And I was like, what does staff mean? And they were like, oh yeah, it's just the rec league employee is going to coach him. I was like, the fuck? Like
what?
Yeah, because like I'm paying, you know what I mean? Like I was like, I'm paying to put him in here. Like he needs to have a coach and shit. And they're like, oh well, we take volunteers. Like I was like, I don't know how to fucking coach.
Like, not play.
I just play. Yeah, like, I just know how to play. I don't know how to coach. And then like it took a couple of my friends and my wife and stuff being like, dude, you should just do it. And so I was just like, fine. So I signed up. I became his coach, and then that whole first season we went undefeated. It was dope. Like it was really cool. And no, not like that. No, that's a legendary. That's a real coach. I still don't consider myself a real coach, but yeah. And then the next season, a new director got put in to the league or whatever, and it was like much more organized. It was like real basketball. It felt like a real club and all that stuff. And then they'd been like, yeah, at the end of this season, we're gonna have the kids do an all-star game. Like they'll get voted in by however, like each team and all this stuff. I was like, oh, this is gonna be sick, dude. Like my son's gonna love this. And then they were just like, oh, and by the way, we're gonna do a coaches versus staff game.
Wow.
And I was like, oh fuck, because like I had been out for like over a year, bro, and like I was just like, I don't know if I could fucking play, and I'm afraid that my hips is gonna pop out and all of this stuff. And so I was like, all right, like I'll do this, because like you don't want to let the kids down. You know what I mean? Like they want to see coach get down. So I was like, all right. So I started training. It takes me 4 months from the time that they notified us of the coach versus staff till the coach versus staff game. I was garbage, bro. Like I'm serious. Like, and I'm not even playing. Like I'm awful. Okay, missed every shot. I think I got 2 points, and it was from free throws. To me, that doesn't even count.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was awful in that shit. And then the next season we come back, and one more time I play again. I was a little bit better. I felt a little bit more like in rhythm and stuff like that. And then this last season was the third one. We still lost, and I was still trash. And then this last season we do it again, and we lost by 1. I almost won the game for us. I went for the end on the stretch, and I started hitting shit. I was hitting shots behind the backboard, like floaters behind the backboard.
Kobe.
Because it was like pushing me. Yeah, they was pushing me out. And but at this point I'd been playing leagues and all this stuff, so like I was like really in like a basketball rhythm. And so yeah, and then I met back up with one of the directors last week, and I was just like, bro, we're gonna get you this next time. Like, I swear. And so but yeah, so like it's like stuff like that. That's what brought me back in, where like I'd taken 2 really big breaks, and I would say not by choice. You know what I mean? Like the first one was necessity. I had responsibilities, and I was not gonna let anybody down. The second one was me. I gave up, you know, and
you were injured, so you can't say you really gave up.
I still gave up. Like I was done. Like to me, that's giving up. You know what I mean? Like I threw in the towel. I was like, fuck this. Especially with like how I'm playing now, like probably like some of my best basketball, where, you know, if I would have just had a better attitude. And that's the thing too, because it wears on you, dude. Like it not just the sport, but like whatever's going on in life, it'll get you depressed and in a rut or whatever.
For sure.
And all of this stuff. And so like all of those things like really like mess with you. And as a guy, like there is none of, like obviously we're talking to each other now, but like, you know, I'm not one to reach out and be like, hey, I need to talk or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So like
in silence a little bit.
We're here.
I know that's the thing, is that I have people that I can, but like you never think, because like I'm sure you guys are the same way. Where like you guys have each other, but like I'm sure that you wouldn't be like, oh, I need to talk to Chris. Maybe you do. I don't know, but like
maybe
for me, like
maybe we need to
maybe
change the narrative.
Should, but
maybe as men we need to change the narrative.
Maybe we should, but like that's how it is for me though. It's like, no, I'm fine. I got this. You know what I mean? And so even if everything's falling apart, you know what I mean? And so that's kind of where it was. I gave up. And it took something that was not me to make me be me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like again,
Yeah,
and
that's
like do
beautiful right
something.
there.
Yeah, like make it for like it was not for me, it was for other people. And
Mm-hmm.
so and then through that, like I found like my love for the sport again.
Okay.
And now it's just fun.
Mm.
Like I said, I don't play with the ego, I don't play with an attitude. You know, like if people are like, "Hey, we want you to pass more," it's like, "All right,
All
I
right.
got you."
Get
Like
open.
I'll pass more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I tell them. Like it's like just fucking be ready. Like you better
Mm.
catch this shit because it's coming
Mm.
for you. You know what I mean? Like fuck,
That
like and it's coming
bully.
fast. And so yeah, so like have your hands out, you know,
Mhm.
and look up. Like
Mhm.
'cause I can't even tell you how many people I fucking just nail right in the face because you cutting, I see you. Boom,
Boop.
it's getting there. You know what I
Yeah.
Yeah.
mean? Yeah, and like they're like fuck, and I was like, they'll fucking look up.
Exactly.
So
It's y'all fault. Put
yeah,
your
like
hands up.
right. If you pick, you better roll.
Yeah.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I'm throwing that bitch down there. So like
Literally.
get ready. And so yeah, so it's like stuff like that where it's more like I'm playing the game for the game. I'm not playing it for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, that's really a nice word right there. Honestly. 'Cause,
Let the church say amen.
Cause me and my brother, we had our fair share of injuries. You know, playing outside is terrible for the legs, for one. You know,
Hmm.
so we both have some pretty jacked up legs for being primarily outside. But other than that, like I separated my pelvic bone. Cause I was getting into dunking. Like the day I really started like dunking, like two hands comfortably. Like it wasn't no like Zach Levine stuff. It was just like rim grazers, but I was comfortable doing it. I did like a 1-2 off one stretch two hands. Then I landed in like a little mini lunge, and then just went boop. That little pop you was talking about. I'm like, oh, let
Oh
me sit
man,
down,
yeah.
and it's like right in the front of your pelvic bone. I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, something's wrong. So I know exactly what you mean by that. Those injuries taking you out. So I'm in that phase. Well, that was a while ago, but that's why I resonated with like trusting yourself because I for a long time I played really low to the ground. Like I wasn't jumping up. I was like falling doing layups, and it's like I'm getting blocked. I'm throwing it over the rim, hitting the underside of the rim because I didn't trust myself. But
Hmm.
with people like you said, opening up to certain people in my life, I'm starting to get that kind of zeal back for basketball. I'm in the league myself now. It's Pro Am Sky West League out here. It's a really good talent out here, but just getting to the point where I'm like you said, trusting myself to go out there and have fun. Like going to practice is it's not that kind of like dread playing basketball anymore. Like I used to talk to my brother like, man, some days I go out there, I just ready for the game to be over with. You know, like I get out there, tip
Right.
off, I run up and down the court. I play defense, but I shy away on offense because I don't want that. Oh, he did this with the ball. He missed. He airball. He, fumbled with the handle. It was too much stuff going on in my mind to really play basketball. So it was a lot of distractions internally, like you said, a lot of depression, a lot of overthinking. Like I'll get the ball. Should I jab? Should I go? Should I dribble? Should I shoot? Should I step back? Should I like? It's so much going on rather than okay, he stepped to me, go by him. It was too
Hmm.
complicated, but I'm getting to a point where it's better for me now in all aspects of life. But basketball wise, like I'm still waiting to show it on the court for sure. But I'm getting that
Hmm.
confidence back to approach the game the way I normally would. Like back in the day, like even when we played in like Grady and Georgia State, when you came down here, like that was more so of me playing basketball every week. Like I'm playing in league games. I don't know if you had this point in your life, but playing in the league, but only playing during in game. Like I work in real life. I have interpersonal relationships and people in my life that need me. So I'm not at the park. I'm not in the gym. I just suit up and touch a ball every time I'm in game. So you want to do stuff, you want to show your game, but how can you if not even practicing on your game? So I was in that. I'm still in that phase, but being in phases like that where you're not even touching the ball, you just still want it, but you're just not doing everything to get to where you want to be. You know, so
Right.
like that. That's very.
I would say for something like that, go get one of them silent balls from Sports Authority, Sports Authority Bits. Oh, you
Yo,
got one?
yes sir.
Yeah.
I got the Dev in the lab with the
So
black one.
is that the in the lab one? Yeah,
Yes
my
sir.
kid destroyed like five of those, bro.
I try not to
Yeah,
dribble it on
use it.
concrete or anything because you see it like get little fuzz balls and stuff.
Yeah, they fall apart.
Hmm.
Yeah, we've gone through so many of those things. I can't even tell you, but like that's how it is in our house. Where like yeah, if we're here, like we got a ball in our hands still,
For
and
sure.
it's probably annoying to people that are not us, but
Yeah.
like you know what I mean? It's just
Why
like,
you
can you
keep
fucking
dribbling that
sit down?
ball?
Yeah,
You
like can you
can't
sit
help
down,
it.
just relax? Yeah, that's the thing. Like it's fun. You know what I mean? So
For
like I'm
sure.
bouncing off the walls, I'm doing whatever. Like you know
Literally.
what I mean? Like it's just that's just what it is, and those are the things that'll always keep us like young, like up
Hmm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
For sure.
and and I think that it's great. Like I think basketball without it, I wouldn't be here.
For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
So
Big part
you
of our
know, like
identity.
yes,
Mm,
not shoes,
mm,
not stupid shit, not
Mm-hmm.
things that don't matter. You know what I mean?
mm.
Like basketball was it. So
Right.
like you guys, I grew up playing outside, and I still love it. It
Yeah.
does hurt though. That's the
Yeah.
thing. Like I'll be
But
done. Like so playing outside before a league game is fucking stupid. But like
insane.
it's yeah, but it's like one of those things. I love it though, man.
Mm.
And like if they keep wanting to run, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll be out there for 4 hours sometimes. You
Literally.
know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And like, and then I got league like a couple
Mm.
hours after that, and like I'll just be like, all right, you know what I mean? I'll
Yeah.
get like sunburns in my eyes and stuff, and I can't help it, man. Like playing outside is like my favorite thing,
Yeah. The worst
and
part, you have
it
your
just makes
slides
you feel
on. You try to leave, and they be like, "We need
yeah.
one." You be like, "I can run. Y'all
Oh,
run."
that,
I'll put my
that's
shoes
a
back
yeah.
on.
Be like, hey, we just need one more. I'd be like, all right,
Literally, like, come on,
I got you.
I got you.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna try to wrap it up here. I got one more question for you personally, just so it don't drag on too long. Um, Out of your whole, just your whole history, everything you worked for, everything you've earned, been through, what has been like the most fulfilling part of it all for you?
Uh, there's like a couple of things. Like
Mm-hmm.
the first one is just owning a home.
Mm-hmm.
Never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I'd be uh in anything that I own. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like I still like wake up and walk out of my room and be like, damn, this
Wow.
mine? Like this,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you know what I mean? And then that same philosophy of like going back to like working real hard just to afford shoes. Like that's what I do now, but it's for a different thing. Like it's not for shoes, it's for to keep this. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to lose this. I don't want to go back
For sure.
to what
You
like I
didn't
grew up
have.
in or
Mm-hmm.
not. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I can't do that. And so
Mm-hmm.
and I can't do that to my family. You know what I mean? So like so it's stuff like that. And then the other thing would be uh the kids in general, not just my own, but also all the ones that I've coached. Like they're the ones that like those days where like you don't want to go do things, you
Mm-hmm.
don't like you mentally are just like fuck, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
then like you see all of them and everything's cool.
Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
You
all
know,
worth
like
it.
they don't care. Yeah, they don't care about all of your mistakes and or they don't care that like you're like stuck in your head all the time or whatever. Like they don't see none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like they just want to have fun with you. They just want to learn from you or look up to you. And you know, like as long as you're open to allowing yourself to be that for them, then like the relationship could be like amazing. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, like if it wasn't for them, like I probably would mentally just be in like a different space, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like they like anything can like kind of like trigger me or like throw me off like mentally, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so and it's not even anything that I can like, at least it doesn't feel like it's something that I can handle sometimes it just happens and like you just kind
Mm-hmm.
of like all of a sudden you're lost in it and you're just like
Mm-hmm.
shit, like how did I even get here, you know what I mean?
For
And
sure.
then you see one of them and like it all goes away
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and there's like some sort of like pureness with the kids that um like you as an adult like you like lose that, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I wish that we didn't, because
Yeah,
like
for
I
sure.
feel like if we were able to keep that stuff, then this place wouldn't be as fucked up as it is right now.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
And so yeah, like I just wish that we could all just be like kids again
Mm-hmm.
and like just have fun and just live to live, you know what I mean? Like not have nothing to worry about and stuff. So those are the two main things that like keep me really like going.
That's
Mm-hmm.
dope.
Um, would be like just providing and making sure I don't slip up,
Mm.
and then giving myself to whoever might need me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's just the kids right now. So
The
like
noble, very
that's what
noble.
it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can
That's
before
beautiful.
we wrap up, can I ask both of you a question,
Yeah,
a
go
more
ahead.
sneaker
Mm-hmm.
related question? With modern trends like the Pro Tro, like the Kobe's they've been doing, what are some model of shoes that you guys want to see touched up with like modern tech? Me personally, I think it's like the 2010 Hyperdunk and the 2012 Hyperfuse. Those are two shoes. I didn't have the Hyperdunks, but I definitely had those Hyperfuses. Those are like knitted socks with like you said, the zoom on the bottom. So what shoe? Like,
Hmm.
if it's like an older LeBron, maybe like KD's doing it too. Like I got the Aunt Pearl, the KD4s. That was on my list that came back. I had to grab. What are some shoes that you
I,
want to see touch back up, or it may not be as popular, but what are some shoes you want to see that Protro love?
I, for me personally, it's happening this year. I think it's this year. It's either this year or early next year. I can't remember. But the Kobe threes,
Ooh,
the
that's
Kobe.
nice.
I have a couple of OG pairs back there, but I can't
Mm-hmm.
even wear them. I just got them in the last few years.
Hmm.
But they're like the glue's all fucked up and
Crumbling,
stuff.
yeah.
And so yeah, but that's one of those shoes that like I've been wanting to play in for a very long
Okay.
time and never were able to get a pair for one reason or the other.
Hmm.
And by the time I did, like I said, they're not wearable, so they're just like over in a case.
Yeah.
But like I'm ready for this Procho shit, especially if they're for real about
Mm.
putting like full length zoom in them
Well, that's a
and
game changer.
Cushlon and all that stuff. Like yeah, it feels like a real upgrade, like the
Hmm.
first one, the Kobe One Protros.
Mm-hmm.
So like if they're for real about it, like I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for
You're
this shit. Like
down.
this
Hmm.
that could be my new like all I play in, bro, is like Kobe fours
Hmm.
and Sabrina twos. And
Well,
so like if you could replace that, like let's do that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm ready to go. So I
Okay.
think that to me would be awesome. Like I love the Kobe sixes, like the OGs, the Kobe
Mm-hmm.
fives, the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
The Kobe 8 OGs. I love them
yeah.
all. I hate the Protros, man. Like I
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
I can't.
They're kind of
Like,
stiff.
yeah, like so, I'll still playing them because
Mhm.
like I want to use the stuff. Like I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to let them just sit here, But like I'm not loving it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like
They got his
I'm
cons for
wearing it for
sure.
nostalgic purposes. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like I might as well be hooping in some Crocs. Like it's crazy.
I feel
So
that.
so like that's it. That's what I want to experience is that shoe, the
Hmm.
Kobe threes. I will say that it'd be fun if they revisit certain shoes like the original Hyperfuse and
Mm-hmm.
the Hyper Dunks and stuff like that. I will say that it gets into sketchy territory when you're Nike and you're doing
Mm-hmm.
that because all you're doing is showing everybody that like you were great,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you're not no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
that makes
that's the
sense.
danger of it.
Yeah.
That's the danger of it. So like, you know what I mean? Like, cause that's what's happened with Jordan Brand is like,
Mm-hmm.
like they can put out anything now. Like
Yeah.
they put out 38, 39, 40,
Yeah.
whatever
The new
fucking,
40s just
and it could
dropped.
be the most amazing thing and nobody's looking.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody, they're all they care about is Jordan 3, Jordan 4, Jordan whatever.
Retros. Yeah.
Like retro,
Mhm.
Okay.
Like they don't see Jordans as basketball products anymore.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the danger of like putting out retro after retro. So
Yeah.
that's why Kobe was smart
Hmm.
and was like, if we're putting out a retro of something that I played in, it's got to be playable still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is not to say that Jordans are not playable because they're made the same almost. Like they're not made to the same standard,
Yeah.
but they're
Mm-hmm.
made with the same items. So it's
Yeah.
not like they're lacking stuff. You know what I mean? But like you could tell that some of that stuff, like by today's standards, like people not used to playing in full
Yeah.
leather no more.
Mm-hmm.
And like people was like gotten like soft, so they want
Yeah, for
sock shoes and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like or like shoes made out of fucking plastic and stuff, and
Yeah.
like it's a hard sell for them. So yeah, so that's the only thing is like if you are relying on retro, be careful
Mm-hmm.
because if you're not cutting edge, like you're gonna lose your spot and you're
Yeah.
gonna lose it. Like I'm telling you, all these Chinese brands are gunning for them,
They're killing it. they
gunning
actually,
for
they're
them. Yeah,
killing it.
and they're putting out all this stuff, and it's not even that expensive.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you take one of them team shoes that you was talking about, and you
Mhm.
compare it to a team Nike shoe or to a team
Mhm.
Jordan shoe,
Mhm.
it shits on that thing.
Yeah.
For
Like
sure.
like dollar per performance aspect fucking completely obliterates it. And then you put it up to a top tier shoe, and it could do the same thing
Yeah.
for less than
$40 cheaper.
you're saving. Yeah, like you're saving 40%. Like you're just like, whoa, wow, this is crazy. So
Yeah.
like, you just got to be careful, man. You got to keep pushing. I think that's the main thing. Like whether it's like me doing my videos or a basketball player on a court or a brand putting out product, you better be pushing. Like even if it sucks, like
Yeah.
Mhm.
try it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like put out something that makes people have something of a reaction. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Like that's you can't lose that. Otherwise, you're gonna turn into Reebok, and that's not going to be good. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You
It's
fall
not
off the
going to be
throne.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
All right. Well, not to keep you too much longer, do you have anything you want to share with the people? Anything you have going on, where the people can find you?
Yeah, like I do videos every week. We review, as much as we can that's coming out. Um, you can find us over at youtube.com/Weartesters. If you wanted to follow the Weartesters main account, it's on Instagram, simply at Weartesters. You can follow me personally at Nightwing2303 over at Instagram. Thank you both for having me. I've known these two for a while now. I've had dinner with them, their
Mm-hmm.
families, everything, and these two are great, great people. So
Appreciate that.
thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you for
Thank you,
coming.
man. Long time no see, man.
Nightwing, everybody.
The man himself.
All right. You all be blessed and prosperous, and we will catch you next time.
See ya.